This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 436 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is sponsored by Equestrian Collections for the entire universe of equestrian shopping at your fingertips at a price you can afford. Visit them at equestriancollections.com. Howdy, everybody. Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and I am continuing to be here with my lovely wife, Jennifer, as we're doing Email Week and answering emails that we've gotten from listeners like you. Hi, Jennifer.
Heidi Hody.
I appreciate you being with us this week and helping us out. I certainly could not have answered some of the ones that you have answered, and that's why we have you here. Doing the hard questions.
Oh yeah, the tough stuff.
And we're gonna. I think this is the last one we have for everybody, and then we're gonna be going back to some regular tips here over the next couple of days. But you can look for more emails as we come down the line. If you would like to send us an email and have us try and get you an answer, you can send it to Glenn with 2 N's at horseradionetwork.com. We appreciate you listening. All right, we're gonna be back with the next email, which is from
Antonio in Nevada.
Antonio. We actually have male listeners in Nevada. Well, Antonio, we're going to get to your email in just a second. But first, I have to talk to you about Equestrian Collections. Equestrian Collections has a fantastic selection of discounted merchandise in their sales section. And let me tell you, they have products up to 70% off right now. And they have a lot of them in there trying to get rid of some of the winter stuff that's going to become outdated here shortly. Winter's finally ending, I think. So the neat part is they have a coupon for listeners of the Horse Radio Network. It's $10 off your next order of $120 or more, and it can be applied to the sale stuff as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. You can get that $10 off. And that coupon code is Radio Show. It's all one word, Radio Show. And you just type that in the promotional section as you check out, and it's going to get you your $10 off products that are already discounted up to 70% in their sales section, so you can get that additional savings as well. And of course, it's springtime and coming into summer. You can find all of those products that you need to replace from last year at equestriancollections.com at some terrific prices. Do it today. Okay, Jennifer, so what's our next email?
As I said, this is from Antonio in Nevada. He writes that I am a caretaker in a large show barn here in Nevada, and it just drives me crazy how the clients are constantly talking about how they don't have time to ride their horse. And they don't. Most of our clients only ride but a few times a month, but yet they're paying these giant board bills. What's the deal?
You know what? We get that a lot when you think about the number of people post on Facebook. I see that all the time. Wish I had time to ride. It's a very common one.
Yeah, it is. Well, there's two things that you hear people say. I don't have time to ride and I can't afford it. Right?
Right. Yep.
But the I don't have time to ride one, I have a few small solutions. And the trick to finding time to ride is to increment your time.
What do you mean?
Well, we don't have time to get all of something done. And what we tend to do when we go riding is I don't have time to ride really means I don't have the time to go out and groom my horse so he looks great and I can spend some quality time with him on the cross ties, get on his back, accomplish left lead canter, which is the most difficult thing we have to do right now. And my instructor is constantly yelling at me for it. And then I have to cool my horse out and make sure there's not a single molecule of sweat on his body before I put all of his blankets on and polish his feet and put him away. That's what
pretty much it.
That's what you don't have time for.
Right.
Yes, you do have time to ride your horse. There's a difference.
So you're saying give him a quickie, throw the saddle on, and go out and ride.
Well, something like that.
Okay.
We're going to break it down.
All right.
If you don't have time to ride at the barn, here are 5 at-the-barn habits that I have developed personally to give me more time to ride my horse.
Can I chime in here?
What's that, Glenn?
Because, I've been watching the habits of horsewomen at barns for a long time.
Yes.
And I think what takes up most of their time at the barn, especially if you're at a boarding stable, is chatting with the other horsewomen.
Well,
there seems to be a lot of chatting and not so much riding, is what I've discovered. They'll stand there and chat for an hour, and then they'll complain they don't have time to ride.
Well, that's actually number 4
This
on
is
the
a good
list.
topic for horses in the morning,
Yeah,
this is a good one.
That's actually number 4 on the list, so we'll do it first.
Okay. Sorry,
Talk-
I didn't mean to jump ahead.
That's okay. You're reading ahead. Talk and work at the same time. There you go. Seeing your barn buddies is an important part of going to the barn, but so is riding. Learn to gab and work at the same time.
When you're a barn owner especially, that's the tough part. All your boarders want to talk to you because they like you or they wouldn't be at your barn. But you just got to work and talk, and you got to make them follow you around. Otherwise, you're not going to ever get your work done either.
We can chat about what day of the week the farrier is coming at the same time I sweep. Yes. Yeah. Or in some cases, at the same time you tack up, at the same time you walk your horse. That's right. Learn to talk and work at the same time.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Turn off your phone at the barn. You feel like you can tack up your horse and talk at the same time.
You realize women are screaming, and men too, all over the world right now.
Yes, turn your phone.
Now, I happen to know Jennifer doesn't even. This is a bugaboo that we have with each other. Is she doesn't even bring her phone into the barn? It stays in the car. That's her rule.
That's right.
And then I can never call her when she's at the barn.
Yeah, with really huge emergencies, you have to call me.
I know. Like, what do I get for dinner? That's important stuff.
Yeah, you need to know me. Yeah. Raspberries. That's another one. And it's amazing how much more efficiently you can get things done. Another one, walk faster. Generally speaking, a lot of the time you spend at the barn is spent walking from the paddock to the grooming stall to the bathroom, back to the cross ties, back over to the bathroom, back over to the front of your stall to pick up your polo wraps. Just walk faster.
It is. We used to have working students, and that was one of Jennifer's biggest complaints, and she used to hop on them all the time because they would be walking so slow.
It's not a stroll.
And I think teenagers have the slow walk down pat. They just seem to know how to walk slow. When you're a teenager, you don't do anything fast usually.
Yeah.
Really drove Jennifer crazy when we moved to the South, and everything moved slower.
Everything moves slower here.
And I think you're finally, after 2.5, 3 years, adapting to it a little bit, but you still have a little bit of that northeastern speed to you.
Well, and I look at it this way. When we're on our horses and we're riding, we expect the horse to walk with some sense of purpose. We don't like to ride horses that walk like snails. Why should we let ourselves walk like snails, right? Don't ask your horse to do anything you wouldn't do.
So unless you're a speed walker, don't ever be a working student for Jennifer. That's the moral of that story.
This thing's taking a bent I hadn't anticipated. Number 3, get organized. Put your equipment away. All organize the ride before, and we'll come back out of the box a whole lot faster this time. Have all of your riding gear for you and your horse set up so that you don't need to make any more than 2 trips between the horse and the storage area. You only get 2 trips, and that's it.
That's why you always look loaded down when you come out of the tack room.
That's
got
right.
the saddle and the bridle and the saddle pads and in her teeth she has the bit. I mean, she's ready to go.
Don't.
No? Okay.
No. And then lastly, don't obsess about how long you ride. How many times have you talked yourself out of going for a ride because you could only spend 20 or 30 minutes in the saddle? If you add those up, it makes a lot. In an average month, let's say 2 times a week you don't go to the barn because you could only ride for 22 and a half minutes. If you add those up, you're going to miss about 8 hours of ride time in a month. It makes a difference. And if you use it in increments, it makes a difference. So you only have 22 and a half minutes to ride today. Well, don't be conquering the left lead canter that day. There are plenty of other things that you need to work on that can take 20 minutes. You can practice 17 and a half perfect walk to trot to halt transitions. There you go.
All right, they're the 5 tips to making sure you have time to ride. And this is one you might want to go back over again because you'll go to next week and you'll go, I don't have time to ride. And then you'll think of this tip. Yeah. And you're going to have to listen to it again because it'll just remind you that you do have time to ride. You just have to do it in increments.
If you need these printed out, Antonio, we'll send them back an email to you. You can put a poster on the wall.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea for all you barn owners out there. You can type these up and print them out for on your barn walls. Well, thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate you helping out with these emails. As I said, if you have an email you want to send with a question, if you're like Antonio from Nevada, Just send it to Glenn with 2 N's at horseradionetwork.com. And you can hear more of Jennifer on Horses in the Morning every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday at horsesinthemorning.com. We'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.
The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.